Eala finally solves Magda Linette puzzle en route to ASB Classic semis. Manila, Philippines. Magda Linette of Poland has not been a kind matchup for Eala, losing to her in their first two encounters. But on Friday, January 9th, in the ASB Classic quarterfinal, Eala shut the door on past heartbreak, finally taking down Linette to reach the semifinal of the tournament in Auckland, New Zealand. "It feels so good," Eala said after a 6-3, 6-2 win to score her first-ever victory against the current world number 52 Linette. The 20-year-old Filipino lost to Linette when she was just 18 during the 2024 WTA 500 Abu Dhabi Open, 7-6, 4, 6-1. They met again in the WTA 250 Lexus Nottingham Open last June 2025, where Linette reasserted her mastery once more on Eala, 6-4, 6-3. In Auckland, Eala flipped the script and made sure it was her turn to sweep. "Today is difficult. Obviously, Magda is such an experienced player, and I've had difficulties playing against her before," she said. "I'm happy seeing my level of competitiveness increase and improve. I do my best. I do what I can. And just if I see an opening, I think it's important that I go for it." Eala, now ranked 53rd in the world, just one spot behind Linette, won 3 straight games to take a 5-2 lead in the first set and never looked back, finishing off the Polish in the 9th game. Eala continued her dominance in the second set, winning the first 4 games before Linette attempted to close the gap at 4-2. The Filipino then kept her composure to ward off Linette's rally to take the win and punch her semifinal ticket in 1 hour and 37 minutes. Initially seen as merely a warm-up for the Australian Open, Eala now nears the tournament's title, as she will next face China's Xinyu Wang in the semifinal. Eala continued her dominance in the second set, winning the first 4 games before Linette attempted to close the gap at 4-2. The Filipino then kept her composure to ward off Linette's rally to take the win and punch her semifinal ticket in 1 hour and 37 minutes. Initially seen as merely a warm-up for the Australian Open, Eala now nears the tournament's title, as she will next face China's Xinyu Wang in the semifinal. Under the spring sunshine of New Zealand summer, on the blue courts of the ASB Classic, a young Filipina stepped onto the court with something more than a racket in her hand. She carried the weight of past defeats, hopes of a season, and the knowledge that today could be different. Alexandra Eala, the 20-year-old sensation who has become the pride of Philippine tennis, stood across the net from Magda Linette, the seasoned Polish veteran ranked just above her. But this time, the script was different. This time, Eala wasn't just playing a match. She was closing a chapter. The puzzle. In sports, every rivalry has its story. Sometimes it's about power, sometimes about strategy, and sometimes it's simply about one player who just hasn't figured out the key to unlocking another's game. For Eala, Magda Linette was that key, the puzzle she had yet to solve. In their first 2 meetings, Linette walked away victorious. A hard-fought loss in Abu Dhabi was followed by another tough result on grass at Nottingham, both matches where Eala showed glimpses of her growing talent, but not enough to tilt the balance. Linette's experience, her touch, and her court savvy seemed just beyond reach. So when the names were drawn for the quarterfinals in Auckland, Eala versus Linette, fans around the world quietly wondered, could the young lioness from Manila finally crack the code? Answering the call. From the opening serve, the answer began to unfold. The match started with Linette taking the first game, but Eala responded like a player who had done her homework. She held serve, then broke, then held again. With precision and power, Eala seized control, breaking it 3-2 and refusing to let the momentum slip. With relentless depth on her shots and sharp angles on her forehand, she carved out a 5-2 lead. Despite Linette's brief resistance, Eala closed out the first set, 6-3. The second set opened with Eala sprinting out to a commanding lead. A streak of 4 straight games put her up 4-0, a statement, not just a scoreline. It was as if each winner, each break, carried the quiet confidence of someone who had learned from her past. Linette managed to find 2 games, saving face and fighting to make a set of it. But in the end the day belonged to Eala. At 6-2, she sealed both the match and her long-awaited breakthrough against a player who had been a formidable rival. Final score, 6-3, 6-2 in just 1 hour and 37 minutes. Why it matters? To the casual observer, it may look like just another match on the WTA calendar. But to understand the depth of this victory, you need to look at what it represents. Small blue diamond, a psychological barrier, Broken. Athletes talk about first wins, the ones that unlock confidence. For Eala, this was that win. It wasn't just beating a seeded player at a WTA 250 event. It was finally solving a puzzle that had lingered from match to match. Every athlete reaches a point where they must conquer a mental obstacle as much as a physical one. Today, Eala did both. Small Blue Diamond, a statement of growth. Throughout her run in Auckland, Eala has displayed a maturity beyond her years. She survived an early scare against Donna Vekic, exerted dominance over Petra Marcinko, and then dismantled Linette with poise. Her game, once sometimes tentative against top players, showed aggression, intelligence, and belief. Small Blue Diamond, Filipino pride on the global stage. Representation matters. From Manila streets to global tennis courts, Eala's journey resonates with fans across Asia and beyond. She is not just competing, she's challenging expectations, toppling seeds, and becoming a beacon for young athletes in nations where tennis dreams often seem distant. The match flow, a closer look. Let's break down the two sets that turned this quarterfinal into a transformational moment. Set 1, the breakthrough. Linette started strong, winning the first game. The set knotted at 2-2 until Eala unleashed a decisive surge. Eala won 3 straight games, turning the tide and taking the set 6-3. Set 2, command and closure. Eala's momentum carried. She raced to a 4-0 lead. Linette fought back with grit but couldn't halt Eala's rhythm. At 6-2, the match was hers, and so was the moment. What comes next? With this victory, Eala booked her place in the ASB Classic semifinals, where she will face China's Wang Xinyu, another top-seeded contender. It's a fresh challenge, but if the Linette match is any indication, Eala has both the form and the mindset to go even further. But beyond the semifinals lies a question that now seems less distant. Could this be the tournament where Eala lifts her first WTA 250 trophy? The path is steep, but she has already climbed higher than many expected at the start of the season. Reflection, beyond the scoreline. Sport is more than numbers. It's narrative. It's emotion. It's moments that fans remember years later. On this day, under Auckland skies, Eala didn't just beat an opponent. She rewrote her story against one of the more experienced players on tour. She looked into the history of her own challenges, adapted, improved, and emerged stronger.